Hello and welcome to Aspire Sports Monday Night Football edition. We don't have Tyler with us tonight, but I'm Giggs and I'm going to be your host. And my co-host here, Ryan. Say what's up, Ryan.
What up, everybody? Good to be back.
Always good to be back. And we're going to be looking at sports betting for the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. That game's kicking off, I believe, at 8:20. So we got a solid 30, 40 minutes here to get some good bets in. We got a same game parlay that's going to be posted into our Discord soon, and we'll have that ready for all of you guys. It's like, what, isn't it like $25 to make?
Like 315 or something. Yeah.
That's a good chunk of change right there.
And make sure you follow us on Twitter too. We always try posting them out there. Last night we had it posted on Twitter because we didn't get on to a live show before the primetime game last night. But we're back tonight to talk a little bit about the game as well as some sports bets stuff.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and get into the spread first. We got the Lions. They're taking on the Packers. Packers are at home. The spread right now is minus 11.5 favoring Green Bay. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the spread right now?
Every time this season, I know it's only week 2, but every time this season where there's been a high spread, I'm like, with good reason, like they're going to absolutely dominate this team. It's either a complete upset or the underdog covers. So while everyone is out there saying that this is a revenge, like a pissed off Aaron Rodgers and just going to throw it all over the place, I wouldn't be surprised if it throws all over the place. I mean, you're a Lions fan. You know how bad the secondary is, especially with Okudah just going down. But the Lions are going to compete, and they're probably going to cover 11.5.
Yeah, I think 11.5 is too much for me. I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers won like 38-10, though. Like, that wouldn't surprise me. But just after watching that San Fran game week 1, where Detroit was down 31-10, I think the line before the game started was like San Francisco minus 8.5. And they almost came back, and not only did they almost ruin the spread, they almost won the game. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions can keep it close and actually cover. I know a lot of people I saw on Twitter, they like the Lions to cover, but I'm probably going to stay away from the spread. I'm not going either way with that. I'm going to stick to my player props and the over under on the game. It moved from 48.5 to 49.5 just recently. I feel pretty confident with the over 49.5. I think this will be a more high scoring game than people think. I saw a stat today. It was like Aaron Rodgers averages 3 passing touchdowns a game coming off a loss. So right there, you got 21 points. I think we could get 1 or 2 on the ground from Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. I expect the Lions to put up at least 2 touchdowns this game. So that would get you pretty close to the over under. Is that something you're looking at for this game?
Yeah, I mean, the only way that this game is close is if it becomes a shootout and the Lions are able to keep up. I mean, let's look at it like this. I mean, the Lions defense just gave up 41 to the 49ers offense that by no means the Eagles have a good defense. I mean, they have an average to maybe slightly above average defense. And they put up 17. So the Lions defense, especially hurt with Okudah being down, I think the only way is if they can withstand a shootout type game with Aaron Rodgers. And that's why one of the props that we have in the same game for the people is Jared Goff to have over 257 passing yards.
Yeah, and I like that one. I think my 2 favorite legs from that parlay would be the Jared Goff over in passing yards, and I like the DeAndre Swift over in receiving yards. I believe it was 28.5. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Both of those I think are solid. They should be playing from behind. They should have to throw the ball a lot, and they've proven that Swift is like their CMC. He's like their Alvin Kamara. Not that he's as good as those guys, but they really like to pepper him with targets. So Swift over
11 targets, 11 targets and 8 catches in the first game.
Yeah.
And to hit his prop, he needs to catch half the balls he caught last game because his prop was over 3.5.
That's right. And that one was like minus, it was like 160 odds. So it wasn't like the best odds, but still something I'd play. It's almost like it's free money. I mean,
They're going
something
to
would
be
have
playing
to
from
happen.
behind. Yeah, them playing from behind. I think you see a lot more DeAndre Swift in the past game than you do Jamal Williams tonight. So I think the two easiest props were over for receptions and over for receiving yards. I just couldn't find them in the same place. I think I didn't see receptions on FanDuel. I did see it on DraftKings though. So I split I put one on each and then one of each in different parlay.
So yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think they let you parlay receptions, which is
That might be why I didn't see it.
it's kind of annoying. That has to have the SGP next to it. And when I went over the player props, there were some like you can't put longest reception, you can't have pass attempts, you can't have rush attempts. It's kind of annoying. Like they should just let you parlay all that shit. It'd be so much better.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up the chat now. I completely forgot. We probably have some have some questions. Oh, beautiful. No, that's fine. If Ty Guy's got it covered, so be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my favorite first touchdown score for the day. I'm going Davante Adams. I know it's not the most juiced odds there, but I expect Davante Adams to tear up this team today. Like we said, no Kuda. Detroit's defense, it's pretty pitiful right now. And I do expect them to give up a lot of rushing yards in this game, but I like Davante Adams for the first touchdown scorer. Ryan, who are you rolling with?
Yeah, it was like disgusting. Last season, it was almost fit whenever because Green Bay was always in prime time. So DraftKings kept doing that thing where it was like bet $20 and like if your person doesn't score the first touchdown, but they score in the game, you get your $20 back. It was literally free money betting on Davante Adams to score the first touchdown last year. It was I would venture to say he probably scored the first touchdown in 16 of their games probably 7 or 8 times. Like it was just gross. It was just like $300. Yeah, that's a nice and easy one. But if you want to get, I don't know, if you want to get a little deeper, Aaron Jones. I mean, even Aaron Jones isn't much deeper, but like he's gonna have another good game too. I don't trust taking anyone from the Lions, per se. I mean, I don't know. And then it'll happen if I start saying that. But
if I was going to go with anyone on the Lions, it'd be Hawkinson.
Yeah,
he's plus 1,300. I mean, we all think Green Bay will probably score first, but if Detroit did get the ball and went down the field opening drive, I would say Hawkinson because he's their red zone guy. Like he's got a ton of touchdowns between this year and last year. If you look at it, he has like 3 2-point conversions, which it's not like it's not 6 points, but it's someone getting in the end zone or catching the ball in the end zone. So I really like Hawkinson on the Detroit side, but
when you
too.
Yeah, when you get a guy like that with the like how we're going over with the Davante Adams things, how he's was consistently getting the first touchdown, throwing some same game parlays together with a first touchdown score, the odds go like insane. So a couple like dart throws for a couple bucks here and there to win a cool like $500-600 if you hit on it. Those are pretty fun if you start adding the first touchdown scorer in there. So I have a couple tonight where it's just absolute long shots, but if he scores the first touchdown, obviously you got some legs. Excited to watch the rest of the game.
Yeah, I've done the first touchdown scores for my same game parlays before, and if it hits the rest of the game, it's like eyes glued to the TV. Because like you said, it just makes the odds go bananas. Like you put like 2-3 more legs in there and it's over plus 1,000. I'm looking at to score 2 touchdowns in this game. Davante Adams is plus 330, Aaron Jones plus 480. Would you touch either of those? Would you consider throwing money on either of those?
I would lean more towards Aaron Jones for that. Obviously, just because the value is a little bit better, but also just because if this game goes as we anticipate, where the Packers get off to an early lead, obviously they're going to be running the ball. The only thing that makes me not nervous about the Aaron Jones is the AJ Dillon effect, because they do like to get him in there when they get a lead. So that would just make me slightly nervous about that. But I would take the Aaron Jones odds are pretty intriguing.
I like both of them, to be honest with you. I mean, it probably won't happen, but they both could score 2 touchdowns tonight. I think it's going to be a beatdown. I know I said I wouldn't take Green Bay minus 11.5, but I really do think that they're going to just beat up on Detroit. It's going to be a get right game because Aaron Rodgers coming off the worst performance of his career. Like he had less than like 150 passing yards and 0 touchdowns with 1 or 2 picks. I don't remember his exact stat line, but it was horrendous. So I do expect him to come out and want to put up some godly stats. And if we remember last year, Detroit can't stop the run. I don't think anything changed. San Fran ran it down their throat. I think they had 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns against them. So I like both of those guys, but I guess I would lean Devontae Adams at plus 330. That's on FanDuel if I was going to go for 2 touchdown scores. But
now, can you add that to a same game parlay?
You cannot.
I was going to say, let's talk about getting crazy. Devontae Adams to score the first touchdown and him to have 2 touchdowns in the game. Oh, we're talking cash.
Well, Devontae Adams' first touchdown at plus 440. Where do you feel comfortable with for receiving yards? Because you can do like the alt receiving yards now. And I think like 80 yards for Devontae Adams, I consider that relatively safe. I guess he's 87.5 for the night, but you can get 80 plus yards at minus 154. So that alone, Devontae Adams' first touchdown score, Devontae Adams 80 plus yards. That's a pretty solid bet. That's 100 to make 637. You get that first touchdown. I think that's almost automatic. So
yeah. No, that's solid. I like that. That is good. That is good. Because like you said, I mean, realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if this game starts off with the first touchdown being like a 60-yard bomb to Devontae Adams. Like that
would be amazing.
Completely. I mean, that's and then can you imagine that? You need 20 more yards from him after the first drive and you already got the first touchdown down. I mean, I feel like I've seen that play out plenty of times.
Absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers gets someone to jump off sides. He's going to heave the ball downfield, and Devontae Adams just going to freaking moss someone to score the first touchdown. Like, am I seeing the future right now?
Of that. Rodgers is the master of that. If he has a free play, he's chucking it downfield. It'll never be like a check down or something like that. He's going for it all every time.
Yeah.
For rushing yards, we got Aaron Jones at 68.5. I think that's kind of low. I think 68.5 is very doable for the over with Aaron Jones. Are you agreeing with me with that one? Do you think that's kind of low for Jones?
Yeah, I do think that's kind of low, and that was also in the same game parlay, the parlay for the people that is featured in there as well. I think I did that alt where you can get it on a couple different places, and it's like 60 plus rushing yards. So as crazy as it is, we've inadvertently talked about all of the parts of the same game parlay without actually knowing that we did. I think, other than the Jared Goff one, I didn't mention that one right off the top, 257. But we have Aaron Jones to score a touchdown anytime, Devontae Adams over 80 yards, DeAndre Swift over 28.5 receiving yards, and Aaron Jones to have over 60 rushing yards.
Yeah. So for all you people who've been following us during this video, if you've been nodding your head to what we're saying, it's time to lay down some dollars.
Yeah.
You know? It's time to put in that same game parlay. If you want to bet each leg separately, so be it. I think that's fine. But I think we're on to something here. Did our parlay hit last week, right? For the Monday night game?
We had one hit. That was the Sunday night game.
Okay.
The Bears game hit. The Monday night game, what did we miss by? What game was that?
Monday night.
Oh, we missed because
Ravens.
Lamar Jackson didn't rush a touchdown.
That's right.
And then, what was Thursday? I don't remember. But last night should have hit if the Chiefs didn't absolutely just break hearts.
I still can't get over that game.
Hearts.
If all I needed, So my parlays yesterday, they were pretty crazy. I mean, I had Tennessee money line, and they looked like they were dead in the water. Like they were down. I think they were down more than like 17 points at one point.
Mhm.
And then I needed the Chiefs money line. God, I had a couple more in that bet just it ripped my heart out. It was only $4 to make. What was it? $4 to make 100. But still, I don't like losing. Oh, here it is. I had the Cowboys money line. I had Tennessee money line, Cardinals money line, Tampa Bay to cover -6.5, Rams money line. All I needed was the Chiefs. And when I saw that the game started with a pick six, I literally took a nap. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I hope I wake up to money. But I woke up with like 4 minutes left to go in that game and had my heart ripped out. That was miserable.
It's always rough too because when the parlay I send the parlay to the people out to a lot of people and when we talk about it. So once Lamar Jackson rushed for that touchdown and the only leg left was like the Chiefs to cover 2.5. I think they were up, or they up 9 when Lamar Jackson ran his first touchdown in. I forget what it was, but they still were covering by a solid amount. Like I think bottles started popping between like all my buddies and everything that had it in because it was like it was there. It was gonna happen. And then CEH, I'll never draft that man in fantasy again after what he did to us last night because
Oh man.
yeah, that was absolutely brutal. And Tyler, I know Tyler mentioned it yesterday. They should just accept they made the wrong pick at this point because Jonathan Taylor looks a lot better than he does.
It's annoying because remember when he was a rookie, his first game, he had like 150 total yards, and
Oh
everyone's
yeah.
like, "Oh man, CEH is going to be the bee's knees. This is the cat's
Mm-hmm.
ass right here." Well, he's looked like trash this year, and he's getting volume too. Like I think he's averaging like 3.3 yards per carry. I know he didn't get one catch last night. He had 3 catches week one, but the only excuse I can have right now for his performance is you've gone against the Ravens and you've gone against Cleveland. Those are two good defenses. So
Yeah.
if they play, like the Bengals or somebody who doesn't have a good defense and he's still putting out those pedestrian numbers, like I'm done with him. I mean, I took him second round in that Yahoo league we're in, and he's
Yeah.
killing me right now.
Mm-hmm. So one of the people in the chat, Dawson, put that he sent me a picture of the parlay. 1,400 on. He needed, I think he had a few different legs to it. Dawson posted if you want, but all he needed was it was like a $25 bet to win 1,400. And the only leg that didn't hit was Landry, I think it was scoring. And it's because Landry got hurt on the first play of that game. Because I was saying, like, if he was a scratch before, I knew he was hurt early. If he was scratched before it, that just voids his aspect of the bet. You still hit, but he played one snap and then got yanked because he was hurt. Like that's Dawson, post it below because I remember being hurt for you with that one.
Yeah, I had a couple player props for Jarvis. I was big on Jarvis. I thought he was supposed to have a good game, but obviously he got hurt, so screwed a lot of people over.
Yeah, I think he would have had a good game if he doesn't get hurt there.
And that game was close at first until Tyrod Taylor hurt his hammy. I mean, they were giving him a game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Houston's better than we all thought they would be. Maybe Detroit will for sure come in last this year, which would be amazing. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed we get the first pick. That'd be great.
Who would you go quarterback? I guess if you have the worst record, that means Goff probably didn't perform too well all season.
I would love if they go quarterback. I would love if they get like Spencer Rattler or someone, just take the risk on one of these quarterbacks who are supposed to be, the next generational quarterback. Because Goff isn't. I mean,
yeah,
I know he was the first overall pick, but he's just not the answer. But let's get back to these player props, and then we'll wrap this up before the game starts. I'm looking at the Detroit side, and we know we like Goff to go, was it 257.5?
Yeah.
So where do you think the majority of those passing yards are going to come from? Like if you have Swift at 28.5, 29.5, whatever it's moved to now, there's still a lot more yards. We still have 220 yards for someone else. Like, who do you think that's going to?
Well, I mean, you've said it and everyone else I mean, Hawkinson seems to be the obvious answer there. That dude, I think it's hard to say he's not one of the premier tight ends in the league at this point, right?
I think he's top 5 hands down.
What did you want Dawson to put in the chat?
His parlay that he missed out on last night by just Jarvis Landry.
He can't put a picture in, so he'll have to.
But you
send
can
to
type
you.
it. Yeah,
you
just
can type it if you want, Doss, or just send it to him and he can read it.
Yeah. So yeah, Hawkinson. And with these kind of things too, I like looking at like, so where did the Packers give up a lot last week? But that game was so disgusting, like 150. You can't even really tell like what what position they're gonna give it up to. So I mean, obviously the running back position was Jared Goff's best friend in the passing game last week, Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. So I mean, both of them, the Jamal Williams being like a revenge game. That one's good. I mean, it could happen early, but I just know that if the Packers get up, I just think we see a lot more DeAndre Swift than we do Jamal Williams.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if Jamal Williams gets the first carry for that team, because that's what happened with San Fran. Jamal Williams got a couple carries before Swift touched the ball against San Fran. And I know Swift's coming off a groin injury. We knew he was going to play all week, though. I wouldn't be surprised because of the revenge game narrative that Jamal Williams gets involved in this game. And they're going to have to get him involved because you have no Tyrell Williams. And I believe you said 11 targets for Swift last week. I think Williams had like 9 or 10 targets himself too.
Yeah.
So,
and then Hawkinson had 10.
Yeah. And Hawkinson, I was looking at his player props right now. 60 plus receiving yards is minus 102. That might be just a little too high. I definitely think he can hit that. But even 50 plus yards at minus 172, I'm completely fine with throwing that in as a leg of a parlay. So like you put that in with Swift 28.5 over receiving yards, sprinkle in some of that Aaron Jones over 60 yards, and then sprinkle in a little Devontae Adams 80 plus or 70 plus yards. We don't even have to touch passing yards or anytime touchdown scorer. And I think that'll still pay off pretty nicely. And I think those are all really doable for this game.
Yeah. Dawson sent me over that parlay. It was Browns, Chubb to score, Landry to score, Hooper over 29 receiving yards, Cooks over 54 receiving yards, Kareem Hunt 50 plus rushing yards, and Cooks to score. So it was 25 to pay 1,400, and Jarvis got yanked. Player too. Yeah.
I would be so pissed. Hooper did score.
No, he just had Hooper receiving yards.
Oh, Hooper.
That does remind me, Deontay Johnson, the report came out. So I don't know if you guys saw, he hurt his knee at the very last play of that game yesterday. Literally, the last 6 seconds. Yeah, well, it came out today that he's apparently going to be fine. Probably won't play this week in case anybody has him on their fantasy team.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson will be playing. Not that it matters. The Steelers stink.
An extended injury.
I can't wait till the Lions lose tonight.
I hope they lose. I have a lot of parlays where Green Bay needs to win. I got Green Bay. This was stuff I made, for the
Lions beat them like convincingly. Is it panic time in Green Bay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If the Lions beat Green Bay tonight in prime time,
especially after the Saints got blown out yesterday, definitely a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, how about those Panthers?
Yeah, dude, are the Panthers legit?
They are. Go Matt Rule.
But then you see the Jets get destroyed by the Patriots, and then you're like, I don't know. I'm confused. What a weird 2 weeks already.
Yeah, and honestly, were those the only 2 blowouts yesterday? Carolina.
The Dolphins.
That's right. Dolphins. Well, Tua, they don't know if he's going to be back next week.
So Will
Fuller came back.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
News.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett at the helm. Yeah, I can say a parlay for the people again. I mentioned it a little bit ago, but we'll go over it again in case we got some new people in here. Yeah. All right. So we'll go over it one more time. So for the parlay for the people today, which we've missed by one leg, or the last year shouldn't even count as one leg. We missed by like half a leg, and we missed by Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's right arm. Jared Goff over 20 or 257.5 for passing yards. Aaron Jones, anytime touchdown scorer. Devontae Adams, 80 plus receiving yards. DeAndre Swift over 28.5 receiving yards. And Aaron Jones to have 60 or more rushing yards. There's a couple of those we like. I mean, Devontae Adams, that's an alt receiving total. He's actually set at 87.5. I don't mind if you want to juice your odds up a little bit and take the 87.5 rather than the 80. I just go safe on these sometimes. DeAndre Swift, loving his receiving upside, especially with the game script that we're anticipating tonight. So 28.5 after he had 68 receiving yards last week off like 8 catches. And then Aaron Jones, that's another alt for 60. I think he's actually, what is he? Is he at like 60? Is he at 67.5? Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he's like six. Yeah, he's like six. All the stuff just closed while I was making one on FanDuel. Really? Yeah, I'll probably. Someone probably just heard our video and laid down like 100,000 on the same game parlay. So they gotta fix the odds for everything now.
Speaking of, if you do this, just come right back on Thursday and become a channel member.
Yeah, pay
it back a little bit. It wouldn't hurt. Just want to throw that out there.
We hit a big one to start off the season. We've been close most of the time. Anyone that was one that wasn't really that close was the Rojo one. When we were all over Rojo, and then that didn't work out. But all the other ones have been you're staying up till 11:30 watching the game because you're thinking it could hit, and then all of a sudden you get let down at the end.
It makes the game so much better.
It does.
Like said, like, come on, who other than me, who really cares about this game tonight? It's the Lions. Like everyone expects Green Bay to beat up on them, and you're going to turn the TV off if it's 21-3 at halftime. But not if you have that same game.
Not us. No, DeAndre Swift's got to be catching balls in garbage time.
That is right.
Aren't you, if you're Matt Stafford, aren't you kind of like hoping that Jared Goff is horrible, or at least is worse than you? What if Jared Goff has a better year and the Lions have a better year than the Rams? What a twist that would be. It won't happen, but imagine. Fantasy. The only way that would happen is if the Rams defense, half their defense just fell off the face of the planet. That's the only way that would happen.
Matt Stafford looks so good for the Rams.
Well, other than that too. But I think, obviously Jared Goff isn't as good. But he put in a lot of work in the offseason. We'll see.
Him and Dan Campbell.
People love Dan Campbell. He was mic'd up this week. And go read the YouTube comments. People love Dan Campbell. They love them some Dan Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah, because he talks about biting people's kneecaps.
Like, he seems like a good fitness trainer. He seems like a good fitness
trainer. Yeah, right, bro. Watching him the whole time before I read the comments, I'm like, this guy is not a head coach. Like, I'm just looking at him like this. It's just something doesn't feel right. But, like, he's a player's coach, but I mean, it comes down to schematics. We'll see in the long run.
Definitely.
Once they get that win tonight.
Yeah.
If they get the win tonight, I'll be so surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
but the narrative will be the Packers are bad, and it'll be like the Raiders. Like people keep saying, "Oh, these other teams struggled against the Raiders," versus maybe the Raiders are pretty good. I mean, it's 2 weeks in a row. I mean, the Steelers definitely had their struggles too, but still, the Raiders are good. Like they're a good team.
Derek Carr's balling.
Yeah. I tweeted it last year and somebody gave me shit. I said he's elite, and the guy's like, he's not elite. And I was like, okay, they struggle a little bit time, but like I think Derek Carr's an elite quarterback. And like last year, their team was not as good. Elite? John Gruden.
MP probably thinks Derek Carr's elite.
Isn't MP the one that loves Antonio Gibson, or is that Uzi?
He loves MP. Gibson and Josh Jacobs.
That's what I thought. Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, he thinks Josh Jacobs is like right there with Walter Payton and Jim Brown.
Oh boy.
He didn't even give us his predictions for tonight.
He's not even the best back out of Alabama. Najee Harris is.
Derrick Henry.
Trent
Right
Richardson.
now, we'll see. He could have been a 2-year wonder. We'll see.
I like Najee.
No, I'm
I
just
think
kidding. I
I
think
know
Derrick
you
Henry will
guys
be
didn't want
fine.
him to take a running back first round, but I think he was just obviously the best running back in this
Well,
draft.
that was the thing. Like, if
And
it
it
was a
was winning.
toss-up between him and the other two, but thank God they didn't get ETN.
Yeah, he gone.
He go. But yeah, go ahead and do your thing and wrap her up, boys, if you want, or talk about whatever.
You want to wrap it up, or what are you thinking, Gigs?
I would love to throw like one more dart out there, but like I said, my FanDuel, I mean, I could log out, log back in, but it's not showing me the odds for anything right now. I think we broke FanDuel because we got all these people coming in trying to place a bet right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so game starts at 8:16. So
here's a long shot first touchdown score that I put some money for an anytime, but I could see him being first too. Is Aaron Rodgers to rush 20. That was another prop I like a little bit. His over under for rushing, his over under for rushing are 7.5 yards. And apparently both times that he played the Lions last year, he went over 7.5 rushing yards. So that's another one I'm liking. 7.5.
Liking it for first touchdown? Is that what you said?
I put some in there for first touchdown.
Oh man. Yeah, let's go find that. Okay,
it's
plus
deep.
2,200. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I said a long shot, Gigs.
Hey, that's how you got to play it sometimes. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I like, the more I'm looking at it, I kind of like Jamal Williams at 1,500. Like if they get close, they like get down on the 1 yard line or something, and somehow Detroit moves the ball first instead of Green Bay. I like Jamal Williams 1,500. I like Williams and Hawkinson the most on the Detroit side. Mm-hmm. And then on Green Bay side, like, would you even consider AJ Dillon for first touchdown?
I would. All right. After watching the last few primetime games and being extremely mad at my TV when I have my same game parlays in, and kind of taking like normal people to score touchdowns, then you get guys that are just like you've barely even heard of, and these are the ones that are vulturing touchdowns when you get down. Like Latavius Murray is my public enemy number one right now. It didn't end up hurting me last night, but last Monday when all we needed was Lamar Jackson. For some reason, this dude signed like last week, and he's just taking the ball inside the 10 all the time. It made me want to. I think I did scream. It made me want to scream. It made me scream yesterday because I just don't understand what is going on when you have Lamar Jackson and this dude's just out there just gripping and ripping the ball from the freaking 8 yard line. It's just ridiculous. But so what my point of that little soapbox I went on was I have no idea last night in a game that's supposed to just be complete offensive insanity, the first touchdown is the defense. Like it's just throw darts at a wall for the first touchdown and hope for the best. Unless it's Davante Adams usually, but who even knows? It'll probably be freaking Equinamia St. Brown because he got signed from caught up from the practice squad today.
My buddy sent me a meme today. It was, you know how like the brain's like not lit up and each square that you go down, it's like more lit up because it's like you're coming up. The guy's coming out with better and better ideas. It's like Davante Adams as MVP in single game, and it finishes with St. Brown finding out St. Brown is upgraded from practice squad or whatever. And it's like, man, if someone throws him an MVP, like that guy's got major stones. Like I would never ever do that, but sometimes that's what hits. Like you said, yesterday was defense. I'd like to know what the odds were for that yesterday. It's probably it had to be in the thousands, you know.
Yeah,
probably like plus 2,000 for defense first touchdown. And they hit that within seconds of the game starting. That has to be a hell of a feeling. Yeah. I came up with one more parlay. This is my safe parlay for the people. It's only plus 283, but I consider this like my safe parlay for the people. It'd be Hawkinson over 50 receiving yards, Adams over 70 receiving yards, Swift over 25 rushing, Goff over 200 passing, and Aaron Rodgers over 225 passing. And that's plus 283. I know it's nothing crazy. But I would consider that like my safe parlay. I'm going to try to make my money back that I'm putting down. I'm just laying down stupid shit at this point. So I'm hoping this hits so I can make some of that back. But yeah, it's like 10 to make 28. It's not the best, but fuck it. You know,
Were you able to do that? Was it back open on FanDuel?
yeah. I'm trying to figure out what they must have changed. Because usually when they do that, it's because they're going in to change someone's stats. They're
Right.
trying to change one of the player props. And I do think there are some really good ones tonight. Like if you're not even just doing a parlay, if you're just doing like a single player prop, like I do think Aaron Jones over rushing yards is good. I think Devontae Adams can hit his over on receiving. I definitely think Swift can hit his over on receiving. And, you know, with no Tyrell Williams, that might be what it was. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's odds changed for receiving yards because you used to be able to get him at all 40 plus yards for juiced odds, and now it's minus 102. So that might have been one that they changed because he's probably going to get some volume tonight with no Tyrell. Where will be that Quintez Cephas guy, whatever the hell his name is, from Wisconsin?
I
That's
looked at
another
him,
dart
but
throw.
then I looked at him a little bit because I think he was targeted quite a bit, like 8 targets last week, and only had 3 catches for like 12 yards. But Golf is definitely looking at him. It just wasn't connect. Maybe he slept better last night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like the number 2 wide receiver. Like if Marvin Jones or Kenny Golladay were out and like only one of them were starting, it felt like he was the number 2 guy until they brought in Mohamed Sanu last year. So
Yeah.
that is someone who's been on the team and he has some games under his belt. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he had a decent game tonight over the rookie Amon-Ra. But Amon-Ra, I mean, maybe this is coming out party against his brother in the Packers. That'd be cool.
Yeah. They called him his brother up just for that.
Some brotherly love.
Both of them scored tonight.
Parlay anytime touchdown score. St. Brown brothers, guys. You heard it. We said it. All right.
No, I actually have to look at it.
You got anything else for him, Ryan?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
All right. If you're still here, guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Every single one of those likes and subscribes matters. We love you for it. Make sure to be checking out our channel all week. Tyler's going to be dropping all types of stuff for your fantasy leagues. There's 2 out right now. I believe one was free agent pickups and was one an injury report. What was the other one? Must buy running backs week 3 and then waiver wire pickups. So make sure you check that out.
Being said,
They're good videos. They're good information to get to before the waivers go through on Wednesday. So with that being said, good luck with all your bets tonight, guys. Be rooting for the Packers, so my bet's hit.
Yes, because he needs it after last night.
I do. After that Chiefs loss, that killed me. That really killed me. But all right, everyone. You take
All
care.
right, it was fun.
Let's win some
Peace
money.
out.